Hello, everyone. Today is Monday, September 25th, 2023 at 3:09 p.m. So I guess been 40 years old for a month already. So 40 years ago, I was a month old. So, excuse me. Basically, they had so I wasn't even supposed to have really, like, for me to just stay in here and not really go much anywhere. I wasn't supposed to have so many videos this weekend. But, and even when I would be in hotels and motels, I would have days like that where if I don't have to go anywhere and don't go anywhere and still have a lot of gang stalking activity to record right without even having to leave my hotel or motel room. So, as I say, I do like a daily diary of, my, like, self-care, personal self-care as a targeted individual. I was doing it while I was homeless, but I figured I'd still continue to do it, you know. So last night, I don't recall having any sleep before 2 o'clock this morning. But I probably did, but don't remember. But after 2 o'clock, I think I slept. I think I slept, up until like at least 6 o'clock or 6:30, and then went back to sleep off and on until I think it was sometime after 8 o'clock, or maybe 7 or 8 o'clock. I don't even remember. Or was it 9 o'clock? I think it was 8 something, but I completely forgot. Like, I really don't remember. So, well, last night I tried to take a shower. The very instant, like immediately, right when I took off my clothes, before getting in the shower, those bastards, I don't know who it was somebody nearby in the neighborhood, did like a noise campaign blasting the loud music. So then after that, the moment I got out of the shower, they stopped with the loud music and the noise. Like, they won't even allow me to have a peaceful shower. So, yeah, like, if you doing all this while I'm trying to take a shower, you must know that I'm taking a shower, and then you take it to offense when I call you a sex trafficker. You're a sick pervert. And even the women, even the females. So then, yeah. So yesterday evening, I did have a sandwich, like the last of the Ezekiel 4:9 bread and hamburger patties from frozen. And I'm surprised. I put it on like 425 and I didn't preheat it. But I put it in the oven for 35 minutes, and everything turned out like the hamburger patties turned out like very like juicy and yummy. So I had that, and I think I did have an apple. And I'm surprised that I wasn't hungry or didn't really need anything else for the night. But then this morning, I had the last of the Captain Crunch cereal, and it was only one bowl left. I just had one bowl, and I was disappointed because I'm like, well, the milk is not as cold as it had been. So usually the milk was near frozen. It was real cold and good. So that's all I had was one bowl of the peanut butter Captain Crunch. And I don't have any more of the Oops All Berries or the peanut butter. So now I just have I eat 2 packs of oatmeal. So I just have I'll say 4 days worth of oatmeal left. And, I probably got like 3 or 4 days worth of meat left. So for lunch, I had a leftover hamburger patty and leftover mixed vegetables and leftover macaroni and cheese, and also an apple. Well, I didn't even realize that gala apples, it was okay for them to have some green in it. But they look like they're trying to kind of go bad. They're not even trying to turn brown or anything. All they do is starting to try to get a little bit dried out and wrinkled up. But I was afraid to eat them because I was afraid that they weren't ripe enough. But I still have blueberries in the freezer. Excuse me. So for dinner today, I guess I'll have the instant mashed potatoes and some of the pork meat, maybe. So I got 3 hamburger patties left and 2 more days worth of the pork meat and 2 more pieces of salmon. So that's I guess about 3 more days. After today, it'll be 3 more days. So I really dread having to go to that. I'm not going to say where, but I'm not going to say where, but I'll talk about my experiences afterwards. But it being the end of the month, I guess I probably have a busy week between this week and next week being busy or things to do. But I heard that the government got something sinister. I don't know exactly what, but I heard that the government got something sinister planned for October 4th. But people who do date setting, sometimes it never comes to pass. But the real disasters or the real bad, when so-called conspiracy people warn you and say that on this day the government is going to do this, or this day the government has this plan, or this day this is going to happen, then it never happens. But then the real disasters and stuff like that happen without warning. They'll try to tell us that the government is planning this or planning that evil. So they say it's part of the satanic code or whatever, or the Masonic code, or part of the Masonic thing to do for the government to give us warnings and hints of their plans and let us know, and then expect us to be too stupid to to know the truth, or for us to not see the truth and know the truth and deny it and not believe it. So, but I don't even know. But it's like, as I said, what happened with the Social Security thing got me afraid to even try to apply for food stamps now. But it's like, well, somebody help me out, so I have enough, at least for groceries to stretch me out. I just haven't gotten them yet. But, so, I mean, I was planning to take part of that money and pay the $17 and something, electricity bill. And then the rest, maybe food or something. I haven't decided yet. But, as I said, if somebody donate me something as a gift off their own mind without me having to ask, how is that scam? Am I supposed to refuse it? And so these online vigilante, jealous stalkers, and including my twin sister, none of them want me. They don't want me with anything. But my twin sister has all these things and don't want me with nothing. But then she lie and say I'm jealous of her. Well, I don't have to envy people who sold their souls and working for Satan. So the online gang stalkers, her cult followers, they will lie to spread false rumors and gossip and lie and say that Candy willingly quit this job and that job and she's lazy and don't want to work. And then when I do get a job, they're like, oh wait, let's find out where she work at so we can try to get her to lose her job. So we're gonna get her job taken away and make her back homeless again. Anything good that I get, they either make threats to have it taken away, or they make sure they have it taken away. So I mean, I need to get to a food bank. I don't know if I'll be able to get to do it this week though. But the food that from the other donation that somebody voluntarily gave me as a gift, it's like, well, I took 4 meats and then like mashed potatoes, rice, bread, and I just recently got me some mac and cheese. Rotating, 4 different meats and 4 different breads and cereals, and having like the same 3 or 4 kinds of fruits and vegetables and some milk and stuff like that, and just rotating, the same few foods, every day for like 2 weeks. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks. Over 2 weeks. Well, it will be over 2 weeks. Or yeah, it's been over 2 weeks. It has been over 2 weeks. So the online gang stalking network falsely accused me of begging and scamming and being ungrateful. And if I am, which I'm not, but if I am, it ain't y'all business. You know? So, as I said, I really think that, so I think that was just that Jessica Ricketts wholeness perp that made the threat the other day out of nowhere. I haven't even been talking about her or mentioning her or anything like that. And she came out of nowhere with another fake new account and tried to threaten me because I know that was her. That was, and you a fellow black person calling me a chimpanzee. So then, that was her that threatened me. Because that's exactly how she talks, and she has a history of, making those threats at me. You way in Atlanta talking about, oh, I'm an hour away from you, and trying to manipulate, frighten, threaten, and scare me. And even if after I say I'm not afraid of y'all try even harder to make attempts at trying to spook and scare me. I mean, she herself has, as I said, how you going to be college educated or have a master's degree or teach in school or whatever and talk, you can't even spell. You can't even spell. And you want to falsely lie and say that, oh, Candy's a bad writer, but you 42 years, 41, 42, however old you are, and can't even spell. Like, if you spell that poorly, you can't convince me that you have like a bachelor's or a master's degree or a school teacher. And then you bullying like a ghetto fourth grader. That's exactly how she talks. But the other perk that try to falsely accuse me of being racist and homophobic, the online perps, there was one person that gave a supportive thumbs up. And then the other perps some kind of way hacked into my account or they hacked into their account and removed the thumbs up and blocked me from having any thumbs up or support on that community post of me exposing that person as a liar. So that other person, I don't even know who the coward was. But Jessica, if I would not have known what her name was if she didn't try to stalk and follow me on Pinterest. Now she's mad at me for exposing her real name. Well, if you wouldn't harass me, I wouldn't have to do that. You're sitting there making threats you're making threats at me. And then the other online perp, whoever that was, I don't know, trying to say, and it probably was Satan's Gym, trying to talk about somebody talking about being an hour from you and come and do this and try to say, oh, those are not threats, those are warnings. But, it's not y'all business what I be saying in my videos or what I be doing in my videos. If you're in a whole different city and state, other targeted individuals don't even get treated like this. Other targeted individuals, they expose names, faces, license plates, addresses, and everything of their nearby neighbors that's gang stalking them. But when I do it, I'm the only one that deserves to be punished with murder. Because y'all sitting there hoping that my neighbors would kill me. But y'all want to sit there and help my neighbors kill me. But as I said, all y'all, yeah, they come from they're my twin sisters, perp flying monkeys. So, but I'm warning people and letting people know what's going on. So, like, I also forgot to mention that my twin sister lied and said that people always tell her she's easy target, I did a face palm because the foster mom used to lecture me about being easy target and easy prey ever since, after the targeting started. And then everybody used to tell me that I'm easy target. So my twin sister trying to hijack that for herself. If people tell me that I would be vulnerable, gullible, naive, and easy target, and they victim blame and narcissistically falsely accuse me of putting myself in a position to have bad things happen, in which y'all be part of the conspiracy as well. Because, how you going to say that I put myself in a position to have this and that happen to me, and you weren't there to see every detail of what happened? But you pretend to be fake smarter than God and try to think you're more logical and think you got common sense. But your judgment and your guessing is incorrect, but you falsely pass off y'all mistaken assumptions as fact. And then go use that to spread around your smear campaign and gossip. So it's like people act like they don't want to be receptive of the truth. And I saw a quote somewhere, probably on YouTube, and I've been saying it myself, that basically, if you don't care to know the truth, the whole truth and nothing but, if you don't care to know the truth, or you don't care to hear about somebody's side of the story, then you don't have a right to judge that person. If you don't know, like, you try to judge something and don't know the truth, or don't even have all the facts, and you just make all the assumptions and think that it's something that's logical to believe. So if my twin sister was truly targeted, they would have been attacking her finances and attacking, they would have made her homeless. They would have stripped her of her whatever so-called military benefits. You want to know how many times? Well, I don't know about, not a whole lot, but they have cut off my SSI and Social Security, SSI and Social Security back in 2018 without warning, talking about they thought that I was dead. And then they gave me hell, to try to fight to get it back. But if I would have known then what I know now, then, I don't even know, So I would hate to have to physically go in an office or go there, because these fuckers will not change my address. I already wrote them a damn letter. Well, they just said you couldn't do it online, but I wrote them a letter. And I don't want to go to the office. I don't want to go to the office. Because they abuse me every time, almost just about every time I go. I mean, they abuse you and play psychological games. All you go in there is just to change your address. And they give you the people at the Social Security office and the fake security guards there. So they try to trigger and provoke, and other people with disabilities I've seen, especially if you diagnose with a mental whatever, the workers will exploit and take advantage of that. So, I was trying to tell y'all that, I didn't want to be all on the I forgot what time I went to bed, but it was well before 11 o'clock. Probably 10 o'clock I went to bed. The moment I tried to close my eyes, those fuckers came very close. Very, very close. not right up on my window, but very, very close to this building, and were popping firecrackers. And then the very moment that I try to grab my phone, excuse me, the moment I try to grab my phone, all the firecrackers ceased. And you didn't even get to hear it. Like the very second I pressed record, all the popping stopped. And they didn't do any more firecrackers at all for the rest of the night. But they strategically waited for me to try to go to bed, try to go to sleep. And then after that ceased, I don't remember what time it was. It was after 10 o'clock. And then I was kind of startled for a bit. And then I tried again to go to bed. The neighbors here had, the neighbors here had, at first I thought that I heard, I wasn't going to record it at first because I wasn't sure what kind of noise it was. And it would be so awkward if I would have filmed them, doing it, if you get what I mean. Well, come to find out, I don't know, because I really would have wanted to, they had, at least the visitors that come here to this place close to the bedroom, the one on the bedroom side, the skank with the 800 kids is on the kitchen side. So the bedroom side right here, last night, she started crying and sobbing. And also, like, it was right after the firecracker incident. Then I tried to go to bed, and she strategically waited for me to close my eyes and try to go to sleep for real. And then she started crying. And then after I put her on film, then it stopped. She stopped crying. I'm not saying, I'm sitting here wondering, well, if the crying was fake to cause me panic and to prolong me getting to go to sleep and to try to keep me sleep deprived. And I let it go on for a while. But then, y'all heard some evidence of the crying noises, but I don't know if it was real or fake. And and this household is the one where they be smoking weed. But I think that the skank over there, I think she be smoking weed too. And then there has the guy, must have been the kid's dad. I went to take out the trash yesterday, and it had a different black guy in a car. I don't remember what kind of car it was, and I don't even remember the color of the car. And he was snuck and was very stealthy in the parking lot. And I don't know why every time I try to take out the trash, people feel the need to monitor and watch and babysit me taking out the trash. So right when I put the trash in a dumpster, it was a black fake thug looking guy, And I don't even know if he legitimately lived in this complex or if he was trespassing on private property to come and gang stalk me. He had a child in the front seat that looked younger than 12. And I don't remember if the child had on a seatbelt or not, but, y'all want to monitor and babysit me taking out the trash. So So then the skanks with the 666 kids, you know, even her baby daddy or whoever that dude was, twice he did the same time entry exit gang stalking tactic. I was walking towards my house, or my apartment, and then he was coming out of her house. But I don't know if he was just a neighbor visiting, because I saw him go this way, like as if he was going towards another apartment, because there's a fence over there. So I don't know if he was just another neighbor, or it looked like he came back and forth like 2 or 3 different times, So I don't know if he was a neighbor or if he was her baby daddy, or I don't know who the dude was, but but all this when I went to try to take out the trash. So I thought I could have just a simple, quick moment with trying to take out the trash. Simply just go take out the trash and then come back. But nah, I can't even do that. And sometimes I'd be just in here, and I look from out the front door, and I be seeing gang stalking weirdness in the parking lot. So like when other targeted individuals show videos of themselves being gang stalked at their residence and stuff, they don't have online stalkers to threaten them and say, I know exactly where you live at, and I'm going to tell your neighbors, and I'm going to do this. Other TIs, they don't have that happen to them. But my twin sister's flying monkeys are doing this to me. And then they want us to say that what Jessica said, wasn't a threat. Trying to talk about it wasn't another perp trying to say it wasn't a threat or it was just a warning. Well, if I would have told somebody something like that, y'all would have called it a threat. But y'all don't even have the right or authority to warn me that you're going to do this and do that to me. What y'all doing is criminal. I mean, you don't sit there and anonymously hide behind fake accounts online and threaten somebody and then lie and say that those are not threats. If it was me saying those exact words, you'd be saying it's a threat. If I would have called somebody a chimpanzee, you would holler racist. But when somebody calling me chimpanzee, oh, that's not racist. But I'm sick and tired of the narcissistic manipulation and games. That you try to make like they have to specifically call me the N-word for it to be racist, or they would specifically have to say that they're going to hurt and kill me. Well, I have screenshots and, I have screenshots and evidence of Jessica actually making threats at me. I even put it and even other perps have threatened me. Online perps, they threaten me. But if y'all and when I was in my hometown, New Orleans, people would make threats to do this and that to other people, and they would be like, well, that's not a threat, it's a promise. But, I'm tired of y'all trying to boss and trying to order me around and control me. You act like y'all think y'all not only run my YouTube channel, but y'all online strangers whose faces I can't even see, and y'all act like y'all control and run my entire life. This is fucking insane. But y'all sitting there, praying for me to get hurt. But as I said, other targeted individuals, y'all don't say that, y'all don't call them a Karen, and you don't say that they deserve to get hurt. And they get support. So, excuse me. But it's like these online strangers whose faces I can't even see, and they think that they run and control my life, and they are vigilante flying monkey bullies, and bullying and stalking me, which is a crime, and that's why y'all hide y'all faces, but then you try to falsely make like I'm doing and saying this and that, and that the words I say is a crime, or me feeling this way is a crime, or me saying or doing this or thinking this way is a crime, or feeling this way is a crime. But if what y'all doing is righteous, I challenge you to show your real faces and show your names. Show your government name. Yeah, show your government name. Show your real name and show your faces, rather than just talking all this tough shit on fake new throwaway accounts and being anonymous. But you still won't do it. But you think you're all tough, but you won't even reveal yourself. So, they want to, as I said, they talk about me complaining, but then they complain about what I do or say in my videos that's not their business. I mean, usually if somebody would have thought, oh, well, Candy said this, it sounds racist, they will unsubscribe or unfollow or block. But no, instead you still be stalking and following and harassing me for years and trying to control me for years. You won't win. Y'all definitely working for the devil, because hate, y'all narcissistically lecture me about hate, but it's y'all. I mean, like, any hatred I do have is justified, because y'all doing this to me. It's very hard to love somebody that's trying to kill you or that want you destroyed and ruining you, and they got strong hatred towards you, unprovoked for nothing. So that Jessica person been stalking, following, harassing, and threatening and bullying me for going on 3 years. Star Bricker and Kimberly Harper and them going on 4 years. I mean, I don't even know how they found me, but Pam Smith and Kimberly Harper and Star Bricker and them, they've been perping since, well, actually Pam Smith and Kimberly Harper pretended to be fake nice at first. But they've been following me since 2019. Like between September and October 2019. Or even November, depending on the person. And it's like for you to be in your 50s and 60s, and Kimberly Harper, her husband died, and she's still going to be cruel. Excuse me. So, guess what now? Trisha, I just wanted to go see her page to see if she really did have that baby, because she lied to y'all and said that I forced her to carry stuff while pregnant, and she didn't have no doggone baby. She has no videos of herself having a baby or with a baby. And now she's acting like as if she's begging for money and asking for help. You got a house and a car, bitch. And you're perping with a red fucking car. A red car that's very dirty. And pretending to be targeted. And it's strange how a wolf in sheep's clothing will try to lecture you and warn you about how to be careful of wolves in sheep's clothing when you're one of them. So between yesterday and today, they had supportive targeted individuals that try to make supportive comments. And the gang stalking network, they were hiding the comments. They were trying to hide the comments. But I'm glad for a couple of people to say that they support and believe me, and that they don't believe shit the perps say. I wish they had more people like that. Because I don't get how people claim to be targeted and would rather side with the perps against me, and they going through the targeting themselves. That's mind-boggling to me. I can't comprehend it. So, yeah. Excuse me. Excuse me. So, if Trisha has like a management job or a high-paying work-at-home job, what's she doing begging for money? And she pretended that she's spreading the word to help another so-called fellow TI. Like she pretends to be a narc victim and pretends to be like a so-called fake Christian preacher when she's a straight up, I don't know if she's like a sociopath or a psychopath using real targeted individuals for narc supply. And she preys on the weakest and most vulnerable ones, like the ones that's poor and homeless and struggling and all that. But now she's begging for money herself, and y'all want to talk about me. So, there's no baby. Like, she lied on me and said that I forced her to carry my belongings while she was 2 months pregnant. She lied. I kept telling her I don't like people touching my stuff. And she was eager and excited to carry my stuff. And I'm like, no, I don't like people touching my stuff. I would rather carry my own stuff. She lied, manipulated, and twisted every damn thing. She doesn't have a damn baby. So she lied to get everybody on her side because she wanted to take her crimes, the focus from her crimes off of herself. Because she told me that she got arrested and went to jail. I don't know about went to jail, but she said she got arrested butt naked or something like that. Because she said because that was, she didn't tell me till after I was already in the car and we were on our way, like we were already touched down in New Orleans. And she was trying to say that she got arrested butt naked because somebody found she was trying to tell me something about a dead body being in her house. Motherfucker, you a murderer? So, she's sitting there running free. She practices witchcraft and pretending to be a Christian preacher, and then mixing New Age, trying to mix New Age witchcraft and Christianity all together. Like, she doesn't have any videos of a baby. Or she sacrificed it, like if she was pregnant and then sacrificed it like she threatened. So she lied on me and said that I forced her to carry all of my belongings up the stairs by herself, and that never happened. I would never make somebody do such a thing like that. I kept on telling her, do not do it. And she insisted and pretended to be fake eager and excited. But it's like she pretended to be fake nice, and one of the first things she wanted to do was use the bathroom at the motel. And then she didn't start, like, the car was red, but she claimed to be targeted. But right after, her being eager and excited, and I was putting some of the carrying the stuff myself, you know. So I kept trying to tell her, I don't really like my stuff on the floor. I don't like people touching my stuff. I would rather just do it myself. And she insisted, and she didn't care. She just put my stuff on the floor, on the ground or whatever anyway. But I lost so much of so-called, like a lot of physical stuff that I could have had here with me. But, due to the sleep deprivation, I was, and then it was raining that day or that morning. I didn't get the opportunity to go and just put the stuff in my storage unit. Plus, she manipulated me into thinking that I was going to go and live there for good. Like, go live at her house in Harvey for good. So she falsely accused me of doxing her. But then it looked like as if she was showing footage of around where she lived at. I mean, I just said that she lived, close by the high school that I graduated from. And she did a fake video falsely accusing me of doxing her. But then she smeared campaign and lied and said that I was the one that sold out or took bribes, when I rejected those offers. And she put out my phone number. And so she did all kinds of just weird, questionable stuff. A whole bunch of shady, suspicious, dirty shit. She started perping me the very second that we got in the car. And she was perping with the red, and she didn't have one headlight, but she had a wrecked up red car that it seemed too good to be true. Like how you just got a car, basically. She tried to make it like the car was given to her as a gift or for free or something like that. But she's definitely a perp. And nobody said that she doesn't have a right to expose gang stalking, or nobody calling her fake, really. Or nobody nobody calling her fake, or nobody treating her like she don't have a right to be part of the TI community. But, she's pretending that she's targeted and pretending that she's exposing gang stalking. Or she steal other people's shit and make it hers, like their TI content. Or all she would do is post a picture of somebody, or when she try to put up a picture of somebody's face. But I have consistent, almost daily activity. I got too much activity to be called fake. But one time somebody did call her fake, and she pretended to fake like she was breaking down and crying. Hold up, something on my eye. It felt like the eyelashes got in my eye. Sorry, y'all. Oh, they did this at the wrong time. But anyway. So I don't know, like I got a eyelash got stuck in my eye. So I mean, she played on a short story, one of the short stories I wrote about a Good Samaritan, and and then she played on that and exploited that and copied off of. She tried to act like she wanted to live vicariously through the short story and try to match up with it. And then online perps found my email and were bullying, harassing, and threatening me. And then they try to narcissistically lecture me about biting the hand that feeds me and all that. And it's like, even if I'm sitting here and letting y'all know the truth, and y'all think y'all got the fake authority to cancel me mute and cancel me on my own channel and side with and defend and agree with her and her lies. And she's way younger than me, trying to boss and control me, and she tried to be my handler. She was trying to be my handler and trying to groom me. And very manipulative. And Trisha still deceiving people with her looks. But yeah, I mean, as I said, I just wanted to see if she had that fucking baby. No, there is no doggone baby. She hasn't had any proof of any videos or pictures of no damn baby. She don't even talk about the damn baby. So with her lying on me and all that, I mean, I don't even know. It might be on some flash drives, the screenshots of her threatening to blood sacrifice the baby. Or, you know, she didn't say I'm going to sacrifice the baby, but she threatened like get an abortion or something. And I had to try to talk her out of it. And I'm like, but if you say you're Christian though, and you call yourself being a woman preacher, and then you deceive people with your looks, and you lie about everything, you think that other TI's suffering is funny, but she's one of the number one people who she can dish it out but can't take it. And she thinks everything is funny, and she calls other targeted individuals, she calls TIs mentally ill. And she has people deceived and under a spell. No wonder how her and my twin sister were able to link up and get along so well. Because they're one and the same. Saying like Star Bricker and all that. You know. So, nobody believed me when I try to tell y'all that Trisha is a damn perp. So, the more proof that I show about my targeting, in which you go into my main YouTube profile, and the video is right up there, and the gang stalking network, tell me why the gang stalkers, why they try to freeze that video. Or they try to freeze my whole page and won't let the video play. And I don't know if it happens when other people try to go on my YouTube profile and click on that video. On my phone, it makes the whole page freeze. But then I tried it on my phone data and tried it on the Wi-Fi here. Whenever I try to click on my own recent videos, when I try to click on my own videos, it takes a long time to buffer. Even the shorter videos. But other people's videos, I can play other people's videos. So I can play other people's videos on my phone, but why I can't play my own YouTube videos back? So, but a lot of people say, excuse me, but during the time period that you're being falsely accused, a smear campaign and lied on, everybody's attacking and going off on you and persecuting and abusing you. But then people say, oh, don't try to defend yourself against a smear campaign, and you should just ignore the smear campaigns because eventually the truth will come out later. But all this persecution and punishments and attacks, based on lies and distortions about you, And so, I mean, imagine this, people whose accounts that I have blocked still try to control me. They try to control me on my own YouTube channel and try to treat me like I don't have a right to say what I want on my own YouTube channel. And then y'all falsely call me the spoiled, entitled narcissist. But y'all busy trying to control people. It's like the chief narcissist is like the narcissist, and then the sociopaths be the flying monkeys. Because I heard that sociopaths usually operate in packs, or that they don't do their dirt alone. So when you tell the truth, everybody mute, cancel, and brick wall you. But when people lying on you, they get a whole fake gang army, a whole gang cult army of flying monkeys to go up against you, and you battling this yourself. And people who you thought were your friends take advantage of siding with your enemies. I'm not going to say how recently it was, but, somebody who I thought was a supportive subscriber had recently, I saw them secretly defending and agreeing with the perps. Or like you didn't believe what I said. Or you wanted to side with them. So the fake TI perps that's playing both sides and acting like a perp, or the ones who just sit behind a desk all day and talk about narcissistic abuse and gang stalking and chosen ones, when they're not even battling gang stalking or suffering it. And it's like people are full of shit when they want to lie and say that they're not being gang stalked anymore. Motherfucker, because you sold out, that's why. And you're sworn to secrecy, satanic secrecy. They beat you into submission. And then you're trying to act like as if you're re-educated, talking about, people who talk about gang stalking, if they'll be like, people who talk about gang stalking usually have some form of psychosis. Or they'll say, I used to believe that I was being gang stalked, but then I realized that I'm just schizophrenic. Motherfucker, you a perp. You're a perp playing games. You're a perp you're sick in the head, and you are exploiting and mocking and mimicking the real TIs that's actually suffering this torture. So, but, I'm just, taking everything one day at a time. But, excuse me. Excuse me. So I've been here a lot, not really going anywhere, not really spending much of any money. Aside from Saturday. Aside from this past Saturday. Aside from this past Saturday, the last time that I think I spent any money was September 11th. No. I think it was Okay, the 11th and then the 20th and then Saturday, the 23rd. But other than that, I've been going like entire days of spending no money, not eating out or anything like that. But I've been feeling like I wish I could, eat out a good meal, but I don't know. It's like I just got here and I'm still trying to figure stuff out. Um, how am I going to handle things? And I'm trying to, like, I kind of feel like I forgot how I used to do things when I had housing. Like, I forgot how I used to cook back then. Like, how I used to cook. Or how I used to do things, or in which order I used to do this and what order I used to do that, or how I used to do this and do that. So now I find myself doing things differently. And I'm sitting here wondering, did I forget how to cook? So it's like I have to reteach myself all over again how to cook. But still, sometimes some people be saying that my food looks good sometimes, But the day when I showed the video with the mac and cheese and it was angel hair pasta, and I baked the chicken with nothing on it, and then afterwards I put the yum yum sauce on it. But I'm somewhat almost out of the yum yum sauce. And I think almost all the sauces, I think I'm almost out of them. So, like, I'm running out of just about everything. But even somewhat almost out of milk. And I got 3 eggs left that I need to hurry up and eat. Excuse me. A little hard mucus in my throat, a little bit. So, I don't know if I'll do it, but I thought about, like in New Orleans, they would have like for brunch or breakfast, people would just have egg rice, like eggs and rice. And it'd be considered like a meal or something, like mainly breakfast. But, excuse me, I thought about making that with the last 3 eggs. Maybe tomorrow or Wednesday. I don't know if it'll be for lunch or for breakfast. I don't know. But the eggs are reaching almost close to the expiration date. But I don't know if I would have them. If I would have them today, I don't know. But the eggs and rice, if I have that this evening. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It seemed like a whole bunch of internet strangers think they got the authority to take away my personal rights based on lies. Like, I don't have a right to do this. I don't have a right to say this. But everybody has a right to destroy and ruin me based on more lies or untrue statements that can't be proven. And you only believe somebody, you only go along with and believe who you like better. You don't even, and it's like, as I said, like so many people, even in the TI community on Twitter and on Facebook too, like almost everybody is fake. But then it's a very few small people. But then even a small amount of people who you think is loyal and got your back, they even give you just enough, manipulate you to thinking that they're real and loyal, but then behind closed doors, they be fake and siding with your enemies, or they'll pretend to be fake nice and dealing with you like from a distance and with a long-handed spoon, and kind of halfway punishing you with the silent treatment just because their friend is mad at you. So, as I said, well, me being in the TI community, me ending up homeless, in my homeless struggles and needing help, it seemed like I ended up with more enemies in the TI community. And if targeted individuals know that you're sabotaged or destitute or whatever, workplace mob, how can another TI believe a perp over you and then falsely accuse you of being fake and scamming, a money hungry, ungrateful, greedy scammer or whatever, and then y'all say y'all targeted and y'all go right along with the same slander campaigns. But they even had popular fake TI perps that bully, harass, and threaten me too. And one of the first things they want to do is, like, I would be homeless while they have a place to live in a car. I mean, you are a homeowner that said you make a salary of $50,000 a year, and you're falsely accusing me of being a perp. I will die never getting to see what an income of $50,000 a year looks like. It's like I don't even know what it would be like to make like $25,000 a year from working. Because they make sure I don't even get to last that long on the job. I've been workplace mob on jobs, the first day. So this morning, right around when I was eating breakfast or whatever, I was having upsetting flashbacks about how I was treated as Seville Quarter with the workplace mobbing and that abusive narcissistic perp Travis that would work at the bar. Travis was an abusive narcissistic perp that would make me scram and run me off like a dog every time I try to go eat. But the guys would be allowed to eat between 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock. But they forced me to, like, when I would try to take a break for lunch, and the guys would be already chowing down and eating, and Travis would act rude and mean towards me, very nasty, and refuse to let me eat. And then, he wouldn't let me eat. And then he would be very rude, talking about he's serving customers. But he didn't let the guys eat. But then when I try to go eat, he wouldn't let me eat. And then they try to not let me eat until like almost an hour or so before it's time for me to clock out and go home. Well, I didn't have a home because I was homeless. But, even if it was black guys, whoever was a dude or of the male gender, he didn't let them eat early. But when it come to me, he will always act rude and force punish me and make me eat way later after everybody else. And then the guys would be allowed to sit at the bar and eat, but he would force me to go sit somewhere else. And so that's part of the workplace mobbing. And then, also at Seville Quarter, I told y'all about the owner or manager, the owner, Mr. Doug himself, would deliberately and on purpose serve me undercooked burgers and stuff like that. Like, where the meat would be so raw in the inside. And then they started perping me and doing that at restaurants, like at Red Robin and at another couple of restaurants. They did that to me. when I say that I want the burger well done, and then you serve me, you know, raw burgers. But only the outside is a little bit brown. I mean, only the outside is brown. And then I take the first bite and it seems fully cooked. And then I take the second bite and it's all raw and pink in the inside. So, and then there was another downtown restaurant. I mean, it was more like a bar or whatever, that try to make it like I'm not allowed to request a well done burger or a fully cooked burger, and that they have to be medium rare. And I don't know. I don't want my, like, why come you won't allow somebody to have a well done burger? I never heard of a restaurant that won't allow you to have a well done burger. So that's how I know that's part of the gang stalking. And so, you know, the guys who didn't do their jobs that great at Seville Quarter, the guys who didn't do their job that well, they're the ones who got treated with, you know, preferential treatment. And Mr. What's his name? Mr. Cliff let them, like he would cut them slack. One time I was extremely sick, and he threatened to fire me, saying that I abandoned the job if I didn't come back to work. And then I tried to come back to work and make up for it, and the Doug guy, he threw a big fake tantrum. You know, he threw a big fake tantrum talking about he didn't want people working overtime. And so Mr. Doug, he was always perping with the red almost every day. An abusive, narcissistic, hard, and mean, and had a nasty ass fucking attitude. And then, you know, he forced me to have my employee number, my clock-in number. He forced for me to have the number 433 and wouldn't allow me to have, you know, choose the number that I wanted. He chose the number 433 because of perp. And Mr. Doug was a fucking abusive, narcissistic, cruel, rude perp. You know, as I said, he was sitting there serving me nearly raw burgers, and you're the freaking owner of the place. And Mr. Doug was never really nice. Never. But his wife was nice sometimes. You know, but Mr. Cliff was nice at first, and he even loved me enough that he even, you know, took me to a dentist appointment and didn't even, you know, I didn't even have to pay for the dentist. But then Mr. Cliff started, like, you know, throwing up satanic hand signs and, you know, started to do perp stuff and weird stuff, you know, shortly before I ended up calling it quits. But the Travis guy even perped me by blasting Aaliyah's song, 1 in a Million. It was more than once. And he even was playing some of the songs that I had on my MP3 player at the time. Like Mariah Carey's song, Vision of Love, and a few other songs I can't think of at the moment. So, Travis was an abusive, narcissistic, cruel, rude perp. But I was thinking this morning, it seemed kind of like with the tent service jobs and those other jobs, seemed like the workplace mobbing in New Orleans seemed like it was more brutal than Pensacola, but I had the brutal workplace mobbing here in Pensacola. Excuse me. But I went to try to look on Craigslist for some jobs. There was nothing. Today, this morning, there was nothing. But then the moment I tried to look on Indeed for some jobs, I don't even know if the perps hit me with directed energy weapons to cause me to feel the sleep-deprived feeling. and I couldn't even concentrate or focus with looking at the job opportunities. And then I almost felt the need to go take a nap. But I ended up not taking a nap. But, I was trying to figure out, like, I was afraid that I wasn't even going to be able to survive throughout the day. So I'm also like doing this video at this time right now. So to prevent myself from trying to take a nap, because I want to try to remain, on a schedule of, not going to bed too late, even though I don't recall having any sleep before 2 o'clock in the morning, and was up and had like big time insomnia, and then I finally was able to get me some sleep. But so far today I have not had like any snacks or dessert. I don't even have snack or dessert in here anymore. Well, right now at this minute, but I've been craving something, not snack, but craving dessert like ice cream or brownies or cheesecake or something. But like in New Orleans, my hometown, I had a lot of brutal workplace mobbing experiences. And like my first experience was working at Tommy's Cuisine. It was around Thanksgiving of 2018. I think I remember I had an excellent experience, and they gave us free Thanksgiving dinner and everything. But for Mardi Gras, not that Mardi Gras day, but somewhere around Mardi Gras, and they had the Mardi Gras parades and everything. Tommy's Cuisine on Chapatulas in my hometown, New Orleans. And there was an abusive, narcissistic, mean Asian guy. When I tried to ask certain questions, and he had rushed me out of there, and he rushed me out of there so fast that I didn't even realize that I didn't get to clock out. And so global staffing, the temp service global staffing, all the employees are abusive, narcissistic perps, no matter whether black, white, and like all the co-workers, they were all perps. Well, they had a couple of nice people, but a lot of them were perps with the temp service. And global staffing withheld my paycheck for at least 4 months. And they kept making excuses and lying and wouldn't give me my paycheck. And they stole $45 from me. So it's like I worked like 5 hours for free. And I was homeless and didn't really have any money. Or I was homeless and really didn't have any money. And, all those people eating around me, taking breaks and eating around me and stuff like that. And I don't even remember if I got to eat breakfast that morning. But they kicked me out and ran me off like after work for trying to ask if I could have something to eat. And the chef had lied and made false promises to give me something to eat. Because they fed us, for Thanksgiving, they fed us real good. So they figured that I wasn't entitled to any food even after working because, they felt like I wasn't entitled to any food because I was a temp and not a regular employee there. Well, they had other people who were temps and they were allowed to eat. So they kept on lying and saying that they couldn't find my paycheck, and they kept making excuses. And then global staffing came later on and told me that basically Tommy's Cuisine people lied on me and said that I never did any work and that I was eating up all the food and that I kept on repeatedly taking breaks and that they had to keep on repeatedly correcting my behavior and some other lies they made up on me. But when you work your ass off and work hard and then they lie on you and say that you weren't doing any work. Well, how would they know that if they hadn't even checked on me? So, if I hadn't even, and even when my first job here in Pensacola, that temp service where I was working through Landrum staffing and working at the Grand Hotel, the abusive narcissistic employees and managers, they kept on making up lies on me. And they lied on me and said that I wasn't doing any work. And they lied on me and said that I was always on my phone. And they lied on me and said that I just played around on purpose until 3:45 in the morning and did no work, and then, did a lazy job with my work. And I was like, I'm not even that type of person. So they made up all kinds of lies on me. So I quit before they could fire me because they had this messy, retarded guy named John. It was a black guy from Alabama. Excuse me. And he was mentally off, slow, and retarded himself. And he was trying to tell me that, that they were planning to fire me. So I quit before they could fire me, and I thought I did let them know. So Landrum HR, they had lied and said that I abandoned the job and just quit without telling nobody. And they used to treat me mean at that job and acting like when it came to breaks, they acted like they didn't want me to eat. But it was okay for everybody else to eat. And they had this tall white guy, he looked like a Satanist. Him and this black guy, they were abusive, narcissistic, hard, and mean. So I would start the shift at 4 p.m. And then I would just wait around because there were no dishes to wash. And then they wait till after 9 o'clock to throw like gazillions of dishes on me. And expect for the dishes to be washed within, like, dishes that would take anybody else. And I was by myself washing the dishes, usually. And it's like, how do you expect one person to wash all of this, plus mop and sweep the floor and, put all the dishes up and check inventory and go look in the cooler and get this or the freezer or whatever and get this and do this and do that, all within 1 hour. So on average, I'd be getting out at like 12 or 12:30 in the morning. I was homeless on the streets. So after that, I had to walk over an hour to get walk a long walk, but pain with feet hurting, trying to go downtown by the little park downtown. I don't even remember the name of the park, but excuse me, but the park on Palafox, right across from fake ass O'Reilly's, the park right there, and then be terrorized and harassed by other homeless people and by drunk people, and couldn't get any rest. So when I was working at the fake dirty YMCA, that was the first job I had where so many people were complimenting me on my job and complimenting me on my work. And then even at Seville Quarter, a lot of the guests would compliment me on my work. If I was such a good worker, then why did y'all workplace mob me off the job? But I heard that's how it always be. The people who take their job seriously, the people who take their job seriously and the people who have good work ethic or have good work values or whatever, those are the ones who get workplace mobbed. So the people who really have their jobs, those are the ones The people who get a job like that, those be the ones who be lazy and don't want to work or don't want to do their jobs. But the people who homeless, or people who are financially struggling and desperate for a job and can't even get a job. And I told y'all briefly the other day about me being singled out and the only one harassed about so-called inappropriate dress code when people would come to the job with ripped jeans and skank clothes and with their booty cheeks hanging out, with high shorts and booty cheeks hanging out, and that's more presentable than somebody wearing capri pants. And y'all find a hoodie to be more acceptable than a ski parka. They called it a puffy, heavy ski parka, in which that thing was light and I was still cold. But they over-exaggerated and falsely talk about it being such a heavy ski parka. But like, how can like a jacket or a ski parka be less presentable than a hoodie? I would have thought that a hoodie would be more tacky. But they workplace mob me and then try to have me wrongfully fired and banned. That John Pressgrove guy, he wasn't even from New Orleans. I don't remember where he was from. And try to make up lies on me and create a scenario on purpose to set me up to get wrongfully banned. Well, I didn't get banned, but he tried to and threatened to. He was making attempts at trying to get me wrongfully banned from the convention center. Great. So to keep me homeless for longer and I can't even work. But thankfully, I was not banned from the convention center. But it's like, y'all saw me in this hoodie. All you had to do was tell me to take the hoodie off. I'm sorry, not the hoodie. The jacket. And the people over the phone were saying as long as it's a black jacket, you can wear anything. It wasn't until I got there and they just looked for a reason to single me out and pick on me. So like, after all these workplace mobbing experiences and a lot of the times, like with Seville Quarter and places like when I worked the Avis job, with the Avis job, I wasn't the only female. But with the Seville Quarter, me being the only female, it seemed like they throw the hardest work on them, or the most or the hardest work on a female, while the guys got it easy. So, me being workplace mob from job to job, of course, that would make anybody sick and tired. So I feel like I would like to have my own entrepreneurial opportunity. But why should I have to wait on government permission? Why can't I just, bake some brownies right now and go out and sell it? Go out and sell them. Oh no, like you get harassed or fined or have bad stuff happen to you if you try to do that. I mean, what harm is it if you try to sell keychains or something? Or if you're trying to sell cell phone cases. But as I said, like, plenty of people could come out of poverty and homelessness. But like a few days ago, I saw a YouTube video about a black man who was selling lemonade all summer. And they wait till just now for the police to harass him and force him to shut his business down. Excuse me. And then he said that and he said that was his like a full-time income for him. And the government is feeding us poison. So what do they care about if you're selling brownies or selling whatever. The government want to pretend that they care about, food safety regulations when they sitting there feeding you poison, lab grown meat that they want to force you to eat, or they feel like they don't have to tell you about the lab grown meat or the cloned meat or whatever other fake meat, and it being like lab grown human meat or some shit like that. So you ain't got the word. I'm gonna try to not eat at Dairy Queen no more. I haven't been eating Dairy Queen, but it was right across the street at and I wasn't sure about Dairy Queen and those burgers, but maybe 3 or 4 times I've had that hunger buster or the burger, and I thought it was gross, like kind of nasty. But it was a big, huge burger, but it was just it was nasty. But I guess the Dairy Queen in Cincinnati, it was okay. I don't remember how it was, but the Dairy Queen in Gulf Breeze, I will never forget. Like I don't know how or why the burgers were so good, but those were good ass burgers though. But how in Bloomington, Texas, the burgers were just not good at all. But they had like a free, like a buy one get one free burger deal or something like that. But I wasn't, because Dairy Queen is not as big as McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger King. But I guess I let my guard down. I wasn't even sure if Dairy Queen was Illuminati. I mean, I think it was Illuminati, but if they had the human meat burgers and stuff, But I think that all the bentonite clay that I've taken, I think I had detoxed. I think I detoxed that, out of my body. But I don't think I should eat that anymore. But, I have where I can cook now. But I kind of, like, I don't have any kitchen space, like any counter space for a microwave. But I heard microwaves were bad for you anyway. And I was living in Los Angeles with a gas stove. Excuse me. I was living in Los Angeles with a gas stove. I had a gas stove in Los Angeles, and I didn't have a microwave. But I don't remember the gas bill being too high. But I used to warm up my food by either warming it up in the oven or like reheating it on the stove. And I survived like 4 years, like that. But I don't remember the bills being so, like the gas bill being so extravagant or so big or so high or whatever. But yeah, I heard cell phones are bad too. But who has landline nowadays personally in their own homes, But yeah, I'm sitting here trying to figure out like how am I going to eat up in here, But I don't even know if they would just give us. I mean, if they would give me like a small. I don't know how much food stamps they would give me, or how much I would be eligible for. So, but I don't know. I'm still trying to figure stuff out. So, well, I wanted to work on some writing today, but I felt the sleep deprived feeling. You know, I felt the sleep deprived feeling, and I mean, I had to halt my search for for me trying to look up, any jobs on Indeed. So, but, as I said, I'm just sitting here trying to survive, and I was asking for help while I was homeless and struggling, but I was like trying to find a way to find a side hustle or something entrepreneurial, and the online gang stalkers want to criminalize that. And when I publish an ebook, they freak out and gossip and talk about this is Candy's latest scam tactic. But you can tell when a perp made a fake bad review. When somebody make a fake bad review, you can tell when it's a perp. Because people who are unbiased, without a narcissistic personality, they will tell me that it was very well written. Or they will try to throw the focus off of the conspiracy truth. The online person will try to throw the focus off of the conspiracy truth, and they will try to throw off the conspiracy truth talk and try to nitpick and talk about what Candy has bad grammar in this place and that place. Well, how come people who saw me in person read my short stories and they said it was very well written? And that's narcissistic control to try to edit somebody's stuff or try to fix or rearrange my writing when I didn't ask you to, and then narcissistically demand and bully me and try to frighten and scare me, and try to threaten me with arrest, or try to falsely make me out to be a thief if you narcissistically take it upon yourself to try to start editing and try to correct and control, and that's why I say I don't even want anybody else to touch. I would rather just be my own editor, writer, and whatever else. But due to the gang stalking sleep deprivation, sometimes verbally or written, sometimes my words may not come out right. Or like one time, I think the other day I noticed that I accidentally said something on somebody's YouTube video and it seemed nonsensical. And it's like, wait a minute, did I write that? Like, don't even sound right. So I don't know if somebody hacked into my account and said something nonsensical, or even when I be writing, if they hack into my account and alter the words to make it sound nonsensical, or like, wait a minute, I don't remember writing that. So, I've been told for many years that I have good grammar. Now, grammar has always been my best strength. But, as I said, due to the sleep deprivation and due to me wanting to write from my heart, I don't want people trying to edit my stuff, especially if I didn't ask you to. But the online perps trying to force and coerce, to edit my stuff when I, knowing that I don't like that, So, yeah, there was something else that I had on my mind that it slipped my mind, or I keep forgetting to talk about it, or I forget to mention it. But yeah, to try to look for employment job, it seems like I just quit. So I was just trying to figure out what can I do other than my writing, Because it seems like as if it's not about how good you are or how bad you are with something, but it's all about who likes you, whether or not you would get support and get to make a living. But being targeted, you know, people will try to falsely spin the narrative that you're a bad person. You know, but they had somebody on TikTok that told me that he was trying to follow me on his account, but he said that the perps were blocking him and wouldn't let him follow me. You know, and so, and people still insist on calling me girl, even the ones who claim that they're in the targeted individual community. And the online perps, of course, they would deliberately call me girl and try to trigger me on purpose. But it's like, ever since feuding with Trisha, now everybody calls me girl. And I'm not allowed to tell people, well, hey, you calling me girl? That's very triggering for me. And I heard that that's part of the MK Ultra mind control as well. You know, and part of the sex trafficking for me to be 40 years old and they're still trying to call me girl. But if you claim to be targeted like me, you know, and then they had this, the same guy who said that they wouldn't let him follow me, he said that people will always tell him the phrase, I'm sorry that you're going through this. And he said, well, do people ever tell you that? I'm like, I'm always telling people I'm sorry that you're going through this. But I didn't know that that person would feel triggered by me saying that. So if he said that triggered him, well, I would try to make a conscious decision to not tell him that phrase, you know. But I wouldn't try to stomp all over him and make those statements on purpose, knowing that it upset him. Well, if I know it upset him, then I would try to not tell him that, you know. But each targeted individual, it's like all of us, that we all got certain phrases and certain things that trigger us or provoke us or make us mad or whatever, you know. So I have some other stuff on my mind to talk about, but it kind of slipped my mind right now. But I'm about to go and check the mail. And, you know, for me to go check the mail, you know, for check the mail or take out the trash, they always got their perp activity. So I'll see y'all in a few minutes.